You cannot grow up to be a girly girl. They're like, you're going to be a tom girl. And
All right, so today on Joe in the Know, we have Miss Zoe Susi. Zoe, nice to have you here.
thank you for having me.
So let's start off by telling the audience a little bit about who you are.
Okay, my name is Zoe. Like Joe said, I grew up in Wilkesboro. I went to Wilkes Central, played basketball, soccer, and volleyball for a year. And I have played college soccer at the University of Arkansas for the last 4 years.
Awesome. So you started out, how long have you played soccer? That's your primary sport, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Is soccer. So how long have you played soccer?
Since I was about 3 years old.
3 years old, so you started young.
Yep, sure did.
So when you started, I guess your parents talked to you about playing sports and that's just something you got into, or is that something they put you into because it was there, or how did you, what got you started in soccer?
Basically, from the day that I could walk, my brothers, I have 2 older brothers, quite a bit older than me. They have always put a ball in my hands or at my feet because they were like, you cannot grow up to be a girly girl. They were like, you're going to be a tom girl and you're going to play sports. So I'd say it was definitely in their hands, and they kind of brainwashed me when I was young into always having a ball at my feet. And I'd say ever since I could walk, I've honestly never chilled out with the ball, and I got a little excessive about it, and a lot of times I'd throw my balls over the balcony in the woods, and I would not be able to go get them by myself. So it got a little excessive and a little loud sometimes in the house, but I would say definitely my brothers are the reason why I started playing soccer at such a young age. But
Yeah, that sounds like a brotherly thing to do.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I was kind of like that with my little sister. I always tormented her and tried to, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're not going to be prissy. I did the same thing. So.
Definitely older brothers for us. But
Yes, that makes sense.
I'm very thankful for it, though. And I played basketball, softball. I played, I think, every sport possible at that age. Just tried out everything. Did gymnastics for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite?
Soccer.
Soccer is your favorite?
Yes. I used to love softball, but they're in the same season. And I think when I was younger, I was a little bit better at softball than I was at soccer, but in my opinion, but I had to pick between the two. And my dad told me, he's like, I promise you're going to have a lot of potential in soccer one day. Trust me. And I was like, okay. So sad to say bye to softball, but I kept playing basketball until my senior year of high school. So I was really sad to stop playing basketball, but I still play intramural basketball in Arkansas.
Okay.
So, and our team wins the championship every year. So,
Really?
Yep. So a lot of our soccer team plays.
Okay, great.
Just for fun.
So were you pretty solid in all sports, or did you have a sport that you weren't as solid at?
I would say I was pretty well-rounded in all of them, just because a part of my whole thing when I was younger, too, is I would go to the YMCA every single day with my dad, and I would train equal amount of time to each sport. Even it started when I was super young, but I was just driven like that, and I always wanted to be better at everything. So I think just being able to, I'm so thankful that my dad was able to have time to do that with me and take time out of his day to help me develop in all sports. But I say across the board, I was definitely better at soccer than I was at all the others. But I gave all of them the same amount of attention. So I think that was probably a big part of why that was the case. But
yeah, that makes sense. So.
Yeah.
It sounds like your dad knew what he was talking about, telling you to concentrate on soccer, because it looks like that paid off for you pretty well. So you're at Wilkes Central. As I say, you were getting scouted. How did you land at Arkansas?
It's funny you ask. I also there's a program called ODP. It's Olympic Development Program, and it's just this big soccer thing. A lot of people, I know a few people from Wilkes have done it too, but you just go and then you make a state team. They have a few state teams, and you go from your state team and you go to a bigger camp, and then it's like the whole South region. So it's like from Texas all the way up to North Carolina, and basically you all come together, try out for one region team. And the first year that we had that, my region team coach actually made the region team. My region team coach was the coach at Arkansas now. So my current coach coached that team when I was probably 12 years old, I think. And one of the first times I played for him, he actually kind of, not directly, but told me I was kind of like bad at soccer. And he's like, what in the world? And I think ever since that day, that kind of hit me. And I was like, wow, like, I got to kick my butt in gear if like I want to keep playing. And I think it's crazy because over time he kind of recruited me and then expressed to me that he wanted me to come there. And it wasn't until later I think it was after my sophomore year of high school. He called me when we were allowed to talk to coaches again, and he was like, listen, like, you got to come to Arkansas. And it was a weird time, too, because it was during COVID. So I couldn't really go to any other campuses, and I'd already been to Arkansas just once. That's the only other campus I'd really been to outside of North Carolina. And I think I kind of wanted to branch out just because not many people get to do that and, like, from around here. And I was like, if I have the opportunity, I might as well just go do it. So the only other campus I'd really been to, I knew the coach, I knew who I was, and he really motivated me and made me want to be better every day that I was around him. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to come to Arkansas. But if you would have asked me a few years before that, I would probably say, what is Arkansas and where is that at? Because I probably wouldn't have even known it was a state. But been there for 4 years, absolutely love it. Wouldn't never want to spend my college career anywhere else. So
Fantastic.
it's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. I remember, because it was kind of the same thing. You know, a lot of people don't get that opportunity from around here, and I guess that's kind of what landed me on you. I was talking in the community with some people, and we were talking about who would be good, and I wanted to get involved in the Central District because I haven't interviewed anybody from there, and your name came up, and I was thinking about it over the last couple of days after we started talking, and I was thinking back several years, and I was like, I remember hearing about you, and I remember you being a big deal, but I wasn't really following things the way I am now back then. And I started thinking back, and I was like, I remember hearing about her, and I remember this happening, but, you know, it kind of went away up until the last couple of days, and then I started thinking about that stuff again. I was like, I remember you.
Yeah.
I remember reading about you and stuff and seeing things about you online, and I was like, you know, that's kind of cool. Because we don't get opportunities like that for people to get to go and play, especially Division I. We have very few athletes that get that opportunity, so that's fantastic. I'm glad you got that opportunity.
Well, thank you.
It takes a lot of hard work and sacrifice on your end to make it that far. So, what has kept you motivated to keep playing after? Because you said you've been playing since 3, so you're coming up on the 20-year mark. 18 years, I guess, that you've been playing. So,
I guess close
what keeps
to
you
it.
motivated?
I would say there's just a lot of people from here that have honestly been like life mentors for me, not even just in soccer, but it is as we know, it's a small town, and like everybody knows each other, and there's so many people here that have had such a big impact on my life and my development as a person. And I think it's just so awesome because I am so fortunate enough to get this opportunity when that's not necessarily a reality that much in our town. And I think it's just, I go back to it and I'm like, it's just crazy that I got the opportunity, and I just want to do it for my younger self and for everybody here who's ever helped me with anything, because I would hope that they would feel like they're part of this journey just as I am, and because a lot of people here have gotten me to where I am today. So I'd say just do it for everybody here who's ever had an impact on me, whether it's like little to big, just anybody ever. But I would say it hasn't been very hard to keep myself motivated, because I love playing soccer. It's always been my escape from everything, like my escape from reality. If I'm ever having a bad day, I'm like, I cannot wait to go practice today. But I'd say just honestly doing it for my younger self and for my family who's just sacrificed so much for me to be here, and just anyone who's ever had an impact on my life. Yeah,
that takes playing your whole life like that, all the travel and stuff, you know, that's a tremendous sacrifice on the parents' part. And
absolutely.
So once you started talking to Arkansas, did you get offered scholarship to go play there, or?
I did. It was a little weird because, like I said, it was during COVID, so I was talking to a lot of schools, but nobody put money on the table because everyone was like, we don't know what's going to happen, and, like, nobody knew what was going to happen with COVID. Nobody could go to any campuses. It was just a really weird time, but Arkansas was one of the first few that was like, all right, we're going to put money on the table. You have this amount of time to decide. Just everyone does it different, but they're very direct and very kind of go get 'em mentality. You want it to be real, and then you're gonna only have this many days after we tell you to decide if you want to come here or not. Because if not, we're gonna have to move on. So it's a little bit of pressure, but I'm thankful they did that, because it's kind of like, okay, we want you, but you're gonna have to make up your mind. That's kind of a lot how that program is, and I'm thankful I got to experience that a little bit before I came, so I knew what I was getting myself into a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah, they put the pressure on. You got to commit to us, huh?
Literally.
So I guess you're the first person I've talked to that's played it in college for 4 years now. So what is practice like? You've been practicing and training your whole life. What's the difference in, say, rec, playing at Wilkes Central and then playing at Arkansas? What's the prep, the wear and tear, the pressure? What's it like? Practice, how much harder?
I would say if you went to any other program in college, everyone would say it's similar to other stuff. It's kind of chill, like you kind of get done what you need to get done, but you can probably ask anybody in college soccer who knows Arkansas as a program, and our program's just different. It's like every day you practice how you play. If you're not slide tackling each other during practice, it's not right. If you're not plowing your teammates to the ground, it's not right. Like, our coach is big on how you do anything is how you do everything, and he just believes, like, if we don't practice how we play, we're not going to play like that in a game. So it's very intense in everything we do, on and off the field. It's just like everyone's always engaged. If you're not engaged, we go back in, we start practice over. Even if we're at the last thing on the list, he will be like, you're going to be out here for another 2 hours because you're not plugged in. You need to plug your brain in. And I honestly appreciate that because I think it's the first time in life that I've ever had to be locked in 24/7, like have my mind set on something. And I do believe that has made me a better person. I do believe it's going to prepare me for the real world once I get into it a little bit. And it's just, I think it's such a good lesson that I've learned is just how you do everything is how you do, or how you do anything is how you do everything. So yeah. I think that's good. But I would say rec is obviously a little bit like not as like intense, not as like there's not many talented people because it's just like kids and it's just like everyone's just there to have a good time, like your parents making you play. And then high school is good. Our conference obviously is not very strong, or when I was in high school, so it was Wilkes Central soccer was pretty good when I was in high school. So it's just like we kind of just showed up, played, we all had fun, we were all best friends. And then I played travel soccer in Charlotte in high school, so I'd drive down there every day, 4 days a week. So I think that was very time consuming for me. I was lucky enough that my dad would drive me down until I got my license. I think the first day I got my license, he was like, all right, well, I'll see you when you get home. And I was like, okay, well, this is terrifying. But so I started driving myself down there 4 days a week, and then also was playing basketball at the same time. So I think I was kind of used to the load of it all when I was in high school. And then I went to college, and I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. Like, I live 3 minutes away from the field, but like, even then, it's still just as draining just because it's so intense every single day that it's just like, wow, like, this is different here. But I'm so thankful for it, and I would not trade it for the world.
Yeah. So when you went to college, did you know what you wanted to do in life, or like, did you know what you were going to major in? Or did that kind of develop while you were there?
I had an interest in real estate before I went, but at the end of the day, I've always just said I want to make a lot of money when I'm older. So I do have a concentration in real estate, so I kind of stuck with that. And I knew I just wanted to do business, but my parents mentioned to me finance because I'm really good with numbers. I've always loved math, and they're like, you really need to do finance if you love math. And I was like, okay. But then I got to college, realized math was somehow, like, it was same high school math I did, but I hadn't taken math in so long. And I was like, what in the world are numbers? But yeah, so I'll be graduating in a few weeks with my degree in finance with a concentration in real estate. And then I'm planning to get my master's in operations management, which is under engineering. So it's kind of engineering, but it's still business focused. So we'll see.
So are you going to do that at Arkansas as well?
I am. So my sophomore year of college, I had to medical redshirt because I hurt my knee playing summer soccer out of Charlotte after my freshman year of college. So I took a break my sophomore year, rehabbed my knee, was out for a few months, and then so now I'm going to take my 5th year of eligibility and finish out and just get my master's. So I'll be done next December, hopefully, if all goes to plan.
Yeah, awesome.
So yeah.
That's great. Master's degree in what? When? Next December?
Yeah, it's a 1-year program, so I'll see if I can get it done.
Yeah. I was going to say that's a quick turnaround. That's good. Fantastic.
So we'll see.
So what one memory stands out? What's your one biggest memory that you have? I guess we'll do it about soccer, or if you got something else to add. What's one memory from your life that is like your biggest accomplishment or thing that you're most proud of?
Man, that's a tough question.
Yeah, that's going to put you on the spot. You might need a moment.
I have a lot of favorite memories from college, but I don't know if this is necessarily a memory or not, but I don't know if you know Jim Cottle, but he was a soccer coach here in Wilkesboro, and he coached at Wilkes Central for a little bit, but he was a lot of the Wilkes Central girls' travel coach from when we were super young with Wings of Wilkes, and I think it was my sophomore year of high school, he passed away. He had cancer, and he ended up passing away. So that was very traumatic for a lot of us because he was all we ever knew was soccer. Like, he taught us all, like, everything we knew about soccer, and, like, he was our dude. And that was just, like, I think so crazy for us because all it happened, like, so fast. And I know that's not in a memory, kind of straying away from the question here, but I'd say it's definitely, like, probably, like, my favorite, like, my core, like, memories from my soccer and growing up. But I have a lot of other favorite college memories, but they all kind of run together over the few years, and they're all kind of similar. So
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't about necessarily memory. It was
Yeah.
more of just wanting what's something that you remember that's kind of impacted you. And so
Yeah, I'd say Jim was just awesome. Anyone that knows him loved him. He was just so awesome. He cared so much about all of us and just poured literally everything he had into us until the day that he was no longer with us. But yeah, I'd say it's probably definitely my staple of my soccer career would be him. So, but yeah.
Cool. So what does your 5-year picture look like? So you're wanting to finish your master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a year from now, roughly.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yes, hopefully.
So
if all goes to plan.
So 4 more years after you finish your master's degree, where would you like to see yourself?
Also a tough question.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said I want to move back home. I loved growing up here. I love everything about it, and I think it's just a great place to raise a family, and all of my family is basically here, minus a few, but I just think it'd be a great place. Having nieces and nephews, I'd love to watch them grow up a little bit. But there's also a side of me where I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe I do go move somewhere else and get the job, or like, so I honestly don't really know. I think I'm just going to go with the flow and do whatever the Lord has in store for me. So I just kind of going along.
Yeah.
But yeah, try not to stress too much about the real world yet.
Yeah, you're not there yet. You're getting there, but you're not there yet. Just just pray over it and see where the Lord takes you.
Yep.
That's it.
That's the plan.
If you're going to chase money, do it young.
Yeah.
Do it young until you decide what you want to do with your life. But yeah, I noticed, as I got older, I still obviously want to make decent money, and you want to make as much as you can. That way you can kind of set yourself and your family up. But the older you get, my time became more valuable than the money to me.
Absolutely.
I had a DJ business, and we were DJing a lot up until probably about 5 years ago. We'd be running like 3 events on a Saturday.
Oh, wow.
3 weddings on a Saturday. And I mean, we were making really good money, but then it was like, I had my daughter. And that was a big shift. It was like, I don't even care about doing this anymore. I just want to see my daughter and be at home with my daughter and things like that. And it's funny how your perspective changes just with events like that. So yeah, definitely. If you want to travel around and make money, I'd do it when you're young, because that might change. You don't know. Yeah. I don't know what your life goals are or what you want is, but something to think about. So if you had some advice that you were going to give little kids, let's say you're out at some camp or whatever, and you're giving all these little kids out here advice, what's one thing that you would tell them?
This is actually one of my favorite questions that people ask me. It sounds so cliche, but I just always told people, just chase your dreams no matter what. Like, no matter how many times people try to knock you down and tell you no. It's just, if you believe in yourself before anyone else does, that can take you so far. And I've been told so many times, like, oh, you're going to be too small to play soccer in college, or you're too small to play against the older girls. And I've just never let that affect me. And I think that's just the mentality that you kind of have to have from a young age if you know you want to go somewhere and, like, try to take your athletic ability somewhere. It's just, like, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be confident in yourself and just chase your dreams for as long as you possibly can, and seriously just never give up. Everyone kind of says that, but it's seriously the truth. You just got to stay true to yourself and keep doing it until you have it. So
Yeah, well, people say the same things because that is something that's proven to be true time after time. And so that's the one thing people can say, that you need to follow your dreams. You need to pursue it. You need to have your goals. And you need to go out and get them. You need to go out and get them. One thing about you, not related to soccer or anything like that, what's one thing about you that people might be interested to know about Zoe that maybe people don't?
If people follow me on social media, they might know this, but I do have a dog. I actually got a dog in college and didn't tell my parents. And that's our one rule. Me and my brothers was never, they were like, you cannot have a dog until you graduate college. And my oldest brother got a dog when he was in high school. My middle brother got a dog when he was in college, and I just had to keep the train going. So I actually got a dog whenever I was injured because my roommates were also soccer players and they were traveling a lot for soccer. So I was by myself a lot, and I was like, I'm just going to get a dog. So one day I made my mind. I was like, I'm getting a dog today. And nobody can tell me different. So I went and got the dog, and she is my absolute best friend in the whole entire world, and she's adorable.
Fantastic. Yeah. You work out with your dog, or was it just kind of your pastime? Do you take her running or anything like that when you train?
She loves to run. The longest run she's went on with me is like 6 miles, and she did the whole thing. I was shocked.
So do you take her to drag you where you need to get on home?
At the beginning, yes. It turns into her dragging me for the first 2 miles, and then towards the end, I'm like, all right,
let's go.
We're not done. We're not home yet. You got to keep running. But she's super active. She's a Blue Heeler and Staffordshire Terrier mix. So she's supposed to be hyper and mean, but she's the sweetest, laziest dog I've ever met in my entire life. But when she's on a leash, she is up and at 'em, ready to go. So it's weird. She has 2 different personalities. I'm like, girl, what are we doing? But
that's fantastic. I appreciate you flying in to do this interview.
Absolutely.
I know you got in probably late last night, so I appreciate you flying in to do this. So, I would like to see you back here in Wilkes, hopefully maybe in another year or so.
Yes.
But I guess we'll have to see where life takes you.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. It's been a pleasure. It's nice to meet you, Zoe.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.